We're like zoos. I mean, if a zoo is protecting a rhino that's threatened with extinction, you're preserving genetics of rhinos within a zoo, or giraffes or elephants, or even the smallest fish or amphibian. Arboretums are doing that with plants.
Howdy, folks. Double J Jeff Jensen here, and the Iowa Nut Growers Association is having our 2025 annual meeting on Saturday, April 5th at the Brenton Arboretum. Recently, I had an opportunity to stop in and talk with Brenton Arboretum Director of Horticulture and General Manager Andy Schmitz, who's getting ready to plant several thousand trees and shrubs this spring. And I'm here with Andy
Schmitz
with the
at the Brenton Arboretum here in Dallas County, Iowa.
So I'm interested. You have all sorts of things growing here. Do you have any nut trees or shrubs or nut related stuff growing?
Certainly, and there we have back in this back cages. Certainly, you know, we have to protect everything from mice and squirrels and everything that's trying to get to the acorns and nuts that we're planting. Uh, Back in here, I have at least 4 or 5 wild collection of juglans cinerea, the native butternut. Three of those are from Iowa, more eastern to southeast Iowa, and then I have a couple Illinois populations. So last fall I went over to those areas and collected from some butternuts. And looking at those trees, they do have the butternut canker. So unfortunately, yeah, it's good and bad because that gives us a good indication that it's probably a true butternut from that standpoint. I was at one of those collections was at Bixby State Preserve, and I was there 7 or 8 years prior, and the one large butternut there was in very good health and full canopy and so forth. And then now this last fall, it was in pretty poor health. A lot of dieback in the tree, very sparse canopy. So that's tree. Luckily, though, I did find 2 or 3 other small trees growing, butternut trees growing. So hopefully they can persist there a little bit. But certainly the large tree has the canker.
What else do you have growing here at the Arboretum?
Well, in regards to certainly in regards to nuts, we have a lot of all the native hickories. Even Carytomatosa, the mocker nut, which is only in southeast Iowa, shagbark, shellbark, bitternut, pignut, Caryglabra, which may or may not be native to Iowa, but haven't found one yet. I'd like to find one. So we have those growing. We have some other hickories like Caria myristiciformis. That's the nutmeg hickory. That's more down into southeastern U.S. into Arkansas and down in that area. So that's a species we have. I have some nuts here in the fridge. Caria pallida. That's this. I think it's a sand hickory. That'll be a new species here at the Arboretum that we'll be planting out from that standpoint. There's probably we have some Corylus. I have some Corylus americana here in some pots. We have a nice collection of hazelnuts here at the Arboretum, pretty much all wild collected hazelnuts that are growing here at the Arboretum. We do have, a nice kind of native population of just the Juglans niagara, the black walnut. We're starting to plant some of the different cultivars of the black walnut. Certainly, some of the Archie Sparks cultivars. One Sparks 147, 128, 127, and so forth, just to kind of have those here at the Arboretum and preserve those here too. So
Speaking of that, I heard you took a trip to the old Archie Sparks residence and you came across some nuts that were interesting. Why don't you show those to me?
but yeah, Archie Sparks, uh, his home was in Beaver, Iowa, and he certainly Beaver. If I don't know if you go to Beaver, Iowa, it's on Highway 30 west of Ames, and it's not a very big town. It's maybe 5 blocks by 5 blocks. And let me tell you, per capita, that town has way more black walnuts than any other town. Uh, the Archie Spark, he has a planting of black walnuts out in a rows, kind of on the northeast side of town, but then scattered all throughout the town. There are Archie's walnuts throughout the town. I've got to know the people that own his old home, and I've been collecting on their property different walnuts. There's certainly uh, hickories in town too. There's certainly hybrid ones or definitely grafted ones. I can tell that they've been grafted. These are more mature trees within the town, but this is one I just randomly picked up. Certainly, it's a more of an unusual nut, more of an egg shape. I think when we're thinking this is Emma K, that Archie used within some of his breeding work there. So Beaver, Iowa has a lot of black walnuts scattered throughout the town. Archie certainly liked planting the black walnuts within the town, and there's some actually. There's a couple pecan trees in town. There's also some Osage orange trees that Archie would have planted within town. So yeah, yeah,
I saw some other big nuts there in the one below. Oh wow!
yeah. So these are some black walnuts that I just picked up over in Illinois last fall. I just happened to be at this. I was actually at this park uh, looking for butternuts. There was an old herbarium voucher there, probably from 50 or 75 years ago, of a voucher and butternuts. But then, lo and behold, I stumbled across this black walnut along Franklin Creek, and it's a pretty good sized, certainly a good sized walnut there. So curious to see how these compare to Dell's walnut that he has. If we have any, how they crack out and score, that'd be great.
Andy, show me around. I'd love to see some of the interesting stuff you've collected and have ready to plant.
What is growing in? That's got to be a hickory.
That's actually an oak.
Oak?
That's a Quercus prenoides, a dwarf chinkpin. But these are hickories here. I just bought them because I was like, I'm curious to see what like, they've been in there. This will be the third growing season. Yeah, they're 40 inches. But I'm not gonna probably plant them. I want to just, like I grow a lot of stuff. I grow a lot of stuff in these. Like either this 9 inch or 14 inch, and they max out maybe 2-3 growing seasons. Like they'll stay in there obviously a lot longer, but they're gonna max out.
Andy, how many plants do you think you have in here?
I'd say it's probably about 4,000.
And a mix of?
A lot of oaks, hickories. I got some stupendous, which is the western soapberry. These are all native. These are Taxus. That's a Taxus canadensis. That was a wild collected in Iowa. Magnolias. All these little oaks right here in the front are. I actually collected them in California, so we're not sure they're gonna be.
Which ones?
Oh, all these right here, like Quercus dumosa. So they're probably not gonna be hardy, but hey, I love growing trees. So yeah, these are the Stupendous Sepinaria variety Drummondii. That's the western soapberry. So the closest this gets to Iowa is like southern Kansas. But these are collected from the most cold hardy locations from southern Kansas and northern Oklahoma. So it's the hope that these will potentially be hardy enough here. There's some Quercus arkansanas. There's some Quercus acerifolias. Quercus acerifolia is it's only known in 3 counties in Arkansas, and there's probably only about 600 known individuals left in the wild. So it's certainly a red list species. Certainly, a lot of arboretums are working with it, and then they're trying to distribute it around into other institutions to protect it. That's so much what arboretums are about, right? We're like zoos. I mean, if a zoo is protecting a rhino that's threatened with extinction, you're preserving genetics of rhinos within a zoo, or giraffes, or elephants, or even the smallest fish or amphibian. Arboretums are doing that with plants. Certainly, there's species of plants like the Franklinia, which is a native U.S. species. That's only the Franklinia is no longer in the wild. It's only known, it only exists in arboretums and botanical gardens.
What's a red list species?
Yeah, the red list is a list of species, be it plants, be that amphibians, fish, mammals, or whatever, that have been tracked, have been put on the red list because of known threats to their existence. Certainly with plants, that has to deal with insects, diseases, native or non-native. Certainly with construction, logging, uh, hydrology, different changes within the environments are threatening those plants with extinction. So arboretums, including the Brenton Arboretum, are working with these plants to preserve them, which would be referred to as ex situ, meaning out of their native habitats, instead of in situ. In situ would be working with them in their native habitat. So if we took, wild collected plants and planted them back into their native habitat within that area, then that would be in situ conservation instead of ex situ conservation. So yeah, we're working. There's a lot of great. There's some elms starting to leaf out there. Those are some, I think, Almus chenmui. Those are the elms, native elm to Asia. So, yeah, a lot of great plants in here.
What are the big tall trees there?
These here. This is a newer one. This is called the Chitelpa. It's a cultivar called Strawberry Moon. So Chitelpa is a cross between the Catalpa and Chalopsis, which is a western species. So when you cross those two, what you're getting the pink flowers of the Chalopsis and bringing that into the Catalpa, and then this cultivar is called Strawberry Moon. It's the only Chitelpa on the market, I think. And so you're gonna have more of a tree like the Catalpa, but then you're gonna have pink flowers. So it's something we just got in last year. We potted them up. They're gonna go out to the Arboretum this year. So this is a wild collection of Euonymus achipurpureus, the native wahoo.
Wahoo.
The burning bush, the native Iowa burning bush. So look at this. I potted these up last year. All these tall ones grew last year, and now all these other ones just started growing this last week.
So it took a whole year for them to cycle through.
It took another cycle for them to grow. This box came this week. It has, from Chris Bochtel at the Morton Arboretum. In this box contains roots of a Kentucky coffee tree at a park in Illinois, in Wheaton, Illinois, that is really a weeping form. A weeping ford tree is kind of all gnarly and stuff, and so we know, we'll grow these roots. Coffee trees are a colonial species, so they'll grow from roots, and so we should have the same genetics and have a contorted weeping coffee tree someday.
Andy, thank you so much for the mini tour. It's been a blast to see some of this unique plant material, and I'm looking forward to seeing you for the Nut Growers Annual Meeting on Saturday, April 5th. It's going to be a nutty good time. We'll see you then. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe.